Do you love Chip and Company podcast? Be sure to head over to chipandco.com for even more Disney Parks news, entertainment, and review podcasts. Chip and Company has been delivering the best in Disney news, planning tips, and more since 2009. And now you can get that news in an audio-only format, now 5 days a week. Every Monday, join Marc and Greg for Diz Life Podcast and start your week off the right way by living your best Disney life. Tuesday is our news and review podcast discussing the latest breaking news from the Walt Disney Corporation. Every Wednesday, we're discussing the best of Disney parks with Chip and Greg. Thursdays have Marc and Greg breaking down the top headlines of the week in And Company, a weekly news roundup. And don't forget to tune into Extra every single weekend where we give you a deep dive on the biggest topic of the week. Get that extra dose of Disney in your weekly commute, your time on the treadmill, or even just relaxing around the house. So what are you waiting for? Head over to chipandco.com today and become part of the fastest growing podcast network in the Disney community. We hope that you enjoyed today's podcast, and thank you for being a part of our podcast family. And now, two guys who are living their lives like they already own a Disney Plus Prime membership, Greg the Disney Fanatic, and Diz Life Marc.
Hoy hoy everyone, and welcome to And Company. Welcome to our weekly review of the top headlines here and from chipandcompany.com. Join us as we dive deeper into the topics that continue to garner your love and attention. Thank you for being part of our show here on the Chip and Company Podcast Network. Don't forget, please subscribe and be part of the fastest growing podcast network in the Disney community. Basically, where you can now get daily dose of Disney 5 days a week. That's 5 days a week of podcasting. On today's podcast, Marc, we are talking about children climbing on the cavalcade floats, Disney Plus Prime Uber membership plus to the maximum, lower crowds down here at the Walt Disney World parks. And Marc, it is now time to drink our way around Fantasyland.
Cheers.
I will be bringing you the spicy hot take of the week. Marc will be bringing you our Rushmore. And of course, as always, we'll spend some time trying to figure out where in the world has Mr. Chip Confer disappeared to this week. But before we get to with the headlines, let me welcome once again my co-host of And Company and purveyor of Diz Life Podcast, Mr. Marc Valentine. Marc, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing really well. We have a spicy Rushmore this week. I took a little bit of cayenne pepper, took a little bit of spice, and you know what? I threw it into my Rushmore. I still had a little residual spice left over from my hot take last week that I said, you know what, Marc? You're on a roll. Let's take off Greg tonight with your Rushmore.
I am done with you. Listen, right now, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to this on Thursday. Marc and I, while you are listening to this, we are in Disneyland right now, getting ready for Disney Plus Day. How excited are you? In a word, Marc, how excited are you?
Californication, Greg. Californication.
I am so ready. Listen, we, ladies and gentlemen, Marc and I both have moved up our flights to a day early just so we can get to Disney California Adventure for an extra day and to spend a whole day at Disneyland. We are excited and through the roof. Stick with us over at Chip and Company on all our social media stuff as we bring to you. This is the most important weekend of the next year for Disney D23 Expo. So, Marc, we don't have a lot of time.
No.
Let's get into this week, my friend.
Let's dive right in, just like that kid who dove right into that cavalcade. In a video which was
schmoovin'.
He was schmoovin'. So in a video that was shared on Reddit, a very young child climbed onto one of the floats during Mickey's Celebration Cavalcade yesterday over in the Magic Kingdom. The original video came from TikTok, but the account has now been turned private. I wonder why. Maybe like millions of comments coming that person's way. Disney cast members, applause to them, came to the rescue of the little one who broke away from his parents to join Pluto, Goofy, and company on the float. I gasped. It was a little bit of a scary situation there for a second. But again, thank you to the cast members, not just the cast member who was one of the performers that pulled the child off of the float, but to the driver of the float itself, who like had the presence of mind to stop almost immediately when the child started to climb on. That could have been a very bad situation. It was a very scary situation. And thankfully, no one was injured and crisis was averted.
Crisis was averted. Disney is amazing when it comes to things like this, and we watched it in action in this video of the float stopping, the cast member running up to help the child. In the video, people are going to say, well, where were the parents? You and I have both raised toddlers. We both know that toddlers can pick up something.
Well, this wasn't quite a toddler, though. This was a kid, like he was schmooving.
This kid had taken off, and his parents were racing after him, and the child literally. If this was something different, I would say this is one of the cutest things I've seen, because this kid just wanted to get to Pluto and show Pluto how much he loved Pluto.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him. I love Pluto just as much. I also am an adult and know not to step in front of the cavalcade. So crisis was averted. This was a very big deal for us to watch how Disney handles these things.
Yep.
It was a big deal to know that at any point in time, your child can just jet off and do something, and you have no way of knowing when or if that's going to happen to you. There was a lot of judgy parents out there like, I know where my child is at all points in time.
Well, this kid broke away. And before we had a chance to really dissect the video, I said to you, and I'll throw myself under the bus, if my daughter started to book, like, I'm schmoovin' with her. But here's the thing. When you look at the background, it looks like the kid moved so quickly that the parents didn't even know. It's like the kid caught sight of Pluto and then just literally made a beeline, because you can see parents in the background and they seem somewhat dumbfounded. Like, where is my child? Not even knowing that their child was already on the float. Like, this kid probably made up about like 20 yards and had made a break for it. So I honestly, like, and you knew me, I was a little critical at first without knowing the whole story or even just not having a chance to review the video. This kid, he broke away from the parents. I don't think they even had a time to react. It looks like they also had other kids with them. So they probably were tending to one of the other kids. The kid heard the parade, saw it like the ice cream man, and just made a break for it. But, you know, this could have been scary if not for those cast members. So
it could have been very scary. Applause to the cast members and the people driving the cavalcade floats themselves. Applause to the characters, because even the characters kind of got into it a little bit.
Yeah.
There is nobody at fault here.
No,
this is just one of those truly parenting moments where something happens, and you could see all the other parents around like grasp for their child, like, well, 4 seconds too late.
Correct. And look, we also know this, and we can say this definitively. We also know that at the end of that shift, that at the end of that day, there were discussions that were being had by team leaders and by team members. How can we double up so that something like this, even though we were successful, even though the crisis was averted, how can we prevent even something like this from happening? You know that Disney's always having those conversations. And again, it's what we love about Disney. They're doing what they can to keep the parks magical, but also to keep it safe. And, you know, try not to get too judgy. This was one of those situations that there was really nothing that these parents could have done short of keeping the kid on one of those child leashes. But maybe that's a discussion that family's having now this morning. You don't know. They might have been like, yo, we gotta lock this kid up. Like, we gotta put this kid on a leash from now on, because
right.
You know, he almost got run over. Like, we gotta do something here.
So that ended up being one of the most clicked on articles over at Chip and Company. Just in the last day alone, I was watching the numbers come in and was like, oh, parents are going to have a lot to say about this. And a lot of people did have something to say about it.
Yeah,
sometimes human nature is to criticize instead of going, thank God everybody's okay and everybody's safe.
I think that criticism also comes from a place of fellow parents, just like you feel for the kid. And I think parents are always,
fellow parents are just Karens.
No, we're not Karens. Dude, listen, I can tell you this. Like, you saw this, right? You saw this with me. Remember when we were in Epcot and the kid was like playing on the bench and in the vines and everything? And my instinct as a parent was I didn't know who the kid was, but the kid was falling off of one of the planters. So I started to make a move for the kid at the same time that the mom was careening in, and she like Terry Tate linebackered me. She knocked me out almost, and then proceeded to look at me like you're in my way. And I'm like, ma'am, I was trying to also catch your kid. You trucked me, but I was here as well to catch your kid. A lot of us parents, like that's just our instinct. So I don't think people that are trying to eviscerate, I think they're just doing so out of concern and worry for the child. People, little children and dogs, you know, the internet are always quick to come to the defense of little children and dogs. So I think that's purely what this was, is people just wanted to make sure the kid was going to be okay. Moving on.
Moving on, because we'll just end it there, because then I'll go on a diatribe about the comment section.
Hot take is, we can't have the hot take too early.
And have the hot take section. Moving on, in one of the top other articles we've had over here at Chip and Company, according to the Walt Disney World Journal. Joe, man, I am so sorry. Ladies and gentlemen.
I almost spit out my soda. Not yet. Disney does not yet own.
A long day.
Yeah.
Let me try that again. Mark, according to the Wall Street Journal, which is completely different and run by a different organization than the Walt Disney World Journal, according to the Wall Street Journal, the Walt Disney Company is considering a membership type program that could offer some discounts or special perks to encourage customers to spend more on its streaming services, theme parks, resorts, and merchandise. This program could be similar to an Amazon Prime for a monthly or annual membership fee. The name being thrown around is Disney Prime, but expect that name to change as they move forward with it, if they move forward with it. Technology is giving us new ways to customize and personalize the consumer experience so that we are delivering entertainment experiences and products that are most relevant to each guest, said Christine Shockey, Senior Executive Vice President and Chief Communications Officer at Disney. In a statement, a membership program is just one of the exciting ideas that is being explored. The Wall Street Journal also notes that Disney is working on a retail component to add to Disney Plus. Their goal is to Disney merchandise through Shop Disney exclusively for subscribers. This feature is likely to be introduced before the end of 2022. Discussions for Disney Prime are in the early stages at this moment.
Call it Disney Genie Plus Plus.
This does not bother me. I know a lot of people out there in the blogosphere and in the vlogosphere are really angry and upset about this. This just means to me that they're trying to incorporate everything into one service. Just think of Amazon Prime. I get Prime TV so I can watch the Ring of Power, the Lord of the Rings show. I can then also go shopping and get stuff. I literally live down the street from an Amazon warehouse. It shows up within hours. I pay for free shipping. I mean, it comes out of the cost that I'm paying on a membership level. Yeah. I also get discounts through Whole Foods and different other things. So to me, this is just a moving forward of Disney offering everything under one umbrella, which is what they should do as a company and as a corporation. And I have no issue with Disney as a company trying to make money.
Nor do I. So I kind of like this idea too, because instead of me having to have maybe like a gold Run Disney membership and a Club 33 or not Club 33.
Wow, are you
D23? Yo, I'm rolling. That's something you don't know about me, man. I'm rolling deep this week. Club 33. Really yeah, we're going to Club 33. We're not going to Club 33.
No, we're not.
But like the D23 Gold membership or just the upgraded Disney bundle. It would be cool if we could have one payment or one price and you get access to various parts of the Disney branch. So I'm all about this. I don't care what they call it. You know I'm going to buy it. So I don't care. Like, call it what you want. I'm in. Son of a bee, I'm in.
Right, I'm in. And again, it goes back to people are just going to complain because Disney's trying to get more money. Obviously, they are trying to get more money.
Yes.
But they are also trying to streamline everything. I would love to see Disney Plus Prime Plus Day, Disney Bundles Plus Day over at the parks, whatever you want to call it, a special day over the parks. I would love to get my 20% discount off of On Shop Disney. Besides just in the parks, I would love to have all these things wrapped up. I'd like to be able to have my account work at both Walt Disney World and Disneyland have everything under the same umbrella.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with all of this.
Nope.
And if Disney rolls it out properly, it is going to become an everyday thing that we use. Yep. And we're going to sit back in 2 years from now and go, man, this thing's genius.
And they will. So buy your stock the day before they announce it, because you know that the minute after they announce it, the stock is going to shoot up, and it's going to be gigantic. It's going to be big.
Mark, are they ruining the magic?
No, they're not, sir. They actually aren't.
I didn't think so.
So I have a question for you. Parks seemed to be quite magical this week, man. So our third article of the week was talking about crowd levels, because typically Labor Day is one of the busiest weekends of the year, but low crowds have overtaken the Magic Kingdom for Labor Day week. Last week, we also saw very low crowds when visiting both Epcot and Hollywood Studios. We expected crowd levels to jump this weekend, as they normally do for the holiday weekend. You can read more about that on the site, on our Chip and Company site. But looking down Main Street USA, typically on a Labor Day weekend, you would see wall-to-wall people. However, this morning of Monday, crowds were quite literally manageable. When checking the Disney World app for wait times, many of the Magic Kingdom attractions had minimal waits. And we even had our friend over at Magic Bands and Trash Cans. There was a 10-minute wait in the middle of the morning for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. When have you seen that?
Not since pandemic. Let's talk about the reasons why. Before I get to the reasons why, let's go back to, I was that person at the Magic Kingdom this morning. So I can attest to how low the crowds truly were. I walked by and it was 11:25 in the afternoon. I walked by Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and it was at a 35-minute wait. And even the cast member was like, I haven't seen it this low since the pandemic.
Nope.
This is all in to say,
I know.
Don't
why.
anybody else panic out there? It's not because the pandemic. It's not because Disney is losing customers. It's not because they went woke and went broke. It is because the travel rebound or revenge travel time.
No.
You held up your hand.
No.
No?
No. I have a point. I'm going to interrupt you now.
Go ahead, because I just sneezed on the camera. We're going to have to pause that because I sneezed.
That's fine. Where's everybody going this week, Greg? Where's everyone going?
They are going
Where's that travel pattern heading?
I would believe west.
Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep that wagon rolling.
Okay. I mean, look, it is Labor Day weekend. Typically, this time of year, it is the slowest time of the year.
It is.
In years past. Last year was an anomaly because there was revenge travel and it was a travel rebound and people wanted to get out of the house. I think that time frame is over. I think people have used up their vacations that they had stored up for 2 years.
Or 6.
They got it out of their system for the past few years. So now we're back to the first. Look, schools start tomorrow.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
I'm sorry. School started 2 days ago.
Yes,
I got to continue this timeline. So, yeah, of course, it's going to be quieter than it has been in a long time.
I feel like Doc Brown right now. Greg, we have to go back. Marty, we have to go back to the future. Yeah. Like, we have to go back to Monday, Greg.
We do. I don't know where King Candy came in as, what is his name?
Christopher Lloyd?
Andrew Lloyd? Christopher Lloyd. Andrew Lloyd.
Andrew Lloyd Webber?
He's doing the Phantom of the Back to the Future.
Greg is flexing his Hollywood trivia, his Hollywood know-how yet again.
This is why I don't speak on entertainment. Yeah, look, it's just this time of year. It's okay. We're allowed to have a slower season. It doesn't mean that the parks are empty.
Yeah.
It just means that they're manageable. And look, I can tell you from firsthand experience, I go to the parks 5 days a week, that not once has it been overcrowded this year. And it hasn't been undercrowded this year. It has been absolutely perfect down here at Walt Disney World Resorts.
Thank you, Goldilocks.
You are welcome, little bear.
All right, man. Well, listen, with all of this space that you now have over at the Magic Kingdom, you can traipse around and you can get your booze on. So tell us a little bit about some new offerings in terms of if you want to imbibe in the Magic Kingdom, you have some new options at the table service locations.
So it's amazing. Select Magic Kingdom restaurants will be getting new specialty cocktails starting this September. These drinks will be specially crafted by the talented beverage team at Walt Disney World and enhance the specialty beverages already available. So before I get into what they actually were, beer and wine has been for sale at the Magic Kingdom for a few years. The doom and gloom audience was like, oh, the magic is gone back when they introduced that. It was really just at sit-down restaurants.
That's it.
Now they are introducing spirits are now going to be for sale also at the Magic Kingdom. Again, select restaurants, everybody. So people aren't going to be walking around with an open container in the Magic Kingdom. So Skipper Canteen will have the Jungle Bird cocktail, Gossamer Black Rum, Campari cane syrup with pineapple and lime juices.
That sounds great.
And a Golden Haze Margarita, Bianco Tequila, Grand Marnier, agave syrup, lime juice, and smoked chili bitters.
I'm so glad you have this article because I would be butchering some of these too, man. Go ahead.
No, you would not. Yeah. Only I butcher words.
You're crushing it. Go ahead, man. Liberty Tree Tavern.
Liberty Tree Tavern is going to have the Gold Rush, which is Elijah Craig bourbon, lemon juice, and honey garnished with crystallized ginger. Yum. They'll have the Magical Beacon cocktail, which is a special offering to celebrate the 50th. Empress 1908 gin, Blue Carousel Minute Maid premium lemonade, Orgeat, which is almond. I don't know what that is.
I don't even know what that is.
Hibiscus grenadine and souvenir a glow cube. At the Diamond Horseshoe, you have the Gold Rush, which we already talked about, and the Magical Beacon cocktail. These drinks may be limited and are subject to change, obviously. Mark, are you going to be joining me in drinking around Fantasyland?
Yeah, I might have that Magical Beacon cocktail, like 4 or 5 of them, and then I can walk around and it's just... The magic is calling. I would be feeling it with that bourbon.
I would be rocking the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, I would be rocking out at the Magic Kingdom. This is cool. Again, I don't disagree. We're all adults here, and if you're going to pay to have a premium table service experience, you should be able to imbibe a little bit. So, I don't think that people are going to get in those situations and overdo it, but. Good for them. Good for them.
I got no issues, man. And
I just don't want it to turn into Epcot, bro.
No. I 100% agree with that statement.
Epcot's out of control depending on the season of the year.
Epcot is out of control daily. And it depends on what time of day you go there. Look, the Magic Kingdom is not going to do it. I guarantee you, and I think Disney is smart enough to realize not to let the Magic Kingdom turn into what Epcot has turned into. And look,
there's
Epcot
too many kids at the Magic Kingdom.
And amazing.
Yes.
The world drinking around the World Showcase is a rite of passage. You have to do it. Nothing wrong with that. It's built into what Epcot and the World Showcase is.
Yeah, there's too many kids at Magic Kingdom,
allow
bro. Can't do
that
it.
to happen. Yeah,
they won't.
Look, I'm fine with what they have. Sit down, have a cocktail or two. You sit around and you get to hang out at the Magic Kingdom for the rest of the night.
So, Chip, which of these cocktails will you be having when the next time that we go to Walt Disney World? Chip? Hey, where's Chip, man?
Mark, when last we spoke,
you wascally wabbit.
Wrong?
I don't know. It's one of those days.
It's just one of those days, ladies and gentlemen.
When last we spoke. Wait, can I do this one as the priest from the Princess Bride?
No.
Knowledge is what brings us together.
I can do that on my own. Thank you, Mark. When last you and I spoke, Chip was lost in the luggage section of the Raleigh, North Carolina airport. Well, the good news is, my friend, that we have found him. The bad news, though, is we've decided just to have him forwarded out to Anaheim and Disneyland for the D23 Expo.
That was smart.
I didn't want to pay for another plane ticket. Or actually, he didn't want to pay for it. We're hoping to pick him up from the John Wayne Airport today and bring him with us to Disneyland. We truly hope that Southwest Airlines has not lost our Chip luggage again.
You know what I like about this new segment now? Or not new segment, this segment? Is I love how it's like an ongoing narrative that every single week has now bled into the next. So it's like when last we found him, he was here, and now this is what happened. Like, I'm invested now in the tale of where is Chip Comfort. Like, I'm in. This is like, I don't even have to get an Amazon Prime subscription for this. Like, you're getting some quality narrative writing by Greg.
Well, thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. And hopefully we will see Chip Comfort this week. So now listen, as always, every week we have our top 4, or what we would call our Rushmore, of what we think are the top, that top the list for us. No matter what the list is, these are the 4 things that top our list. And this week, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mark Valentine has the Rushmore of the week.
So as you know, ladies and gentlemen, as we are broadcasting this, both Greg and myself are out in Disneyland. We have an inside joke, or let's just say a little bit of a bet going on, where I have constantly ribbed at Greg and told him just how amazing certain things are at Disneyland when compared to the Walt Disney World counterpart. So let me go a little bit further. Let's get a little spicy and tick Greg off a little bit with this week's Rushmore, where we bring you the rides that are better in Disneyland. All right, dude, you are not allowed to talk either. That's what's so amazing about this.
I am bitter about this.
He's already salty. So here are the top 4 rides, Greg, that are better at Disneyland. There's more than 4, but here are the top 4. Number 1, Radiator Springs Racers is so much better than Test Track. Move over, Test Track. These racers have a legit theme. And while it's not the same ride, according to Greg, it's not, because Radiator Springs leaves Test Track in the proverbial dust. What's the theme of Test Track, Greg? Neon? Take that wannabe Tron, give it a glow up. Somebody, do something with Test Track, make it cooler, and then you've got Radiator Springs. Radiator Springs is a top-notch theme. It's in the middle of Cars Land, which is absolutely amazing. It's fun. It's enjoyable. Let's face it, Test Track, until you get to the power section of it, or whatever that last speed test is, no one cares. No one cares about efficiency. No one cares about the turning. The ride is a snoozer until you get to the end and to the power test. So just do something on the inside to make us want to go on Test Track, or just turn it into Radiator Springs because it's better at Disneyland. Number 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. Greg has said I can have this one because he doesn't care about the Tower of Terror and he hates it. And I will take this one because what's better than scary? Scary and funny and raucous. And that's what the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout ride is. Guardians does so much more than bring fear. It brings everything we love about the MCU and Guardians to a one-of-a-kind experience drop tower. And at Halloween, it has an incredible overlay called Monsters After Dark. Unless you've done both towers, you cannot be a part of this debate. You have to try both Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout and Tower of Terror before you can weigh in and fanboy in and say, Tower of Terror at Walt Disney World is so much better. Have you tried Mission Breakout? If you have, I welcome you. Let's have a debate, but just not today because this is my time to shine. Number 3, Greg. Space Mountain is better at Disneyland. Hey, if you want a back adjustment, Walt Disney World is your Huckleberry, but Space Mountain at Disneyland is the purest and the best version of the ride. Smooth as silk and incredible queue, and during the month of May, you get a Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain overlay, which I have done, and I will tell you, Greg, it is everything and more. This ride is so good that, dare I say, I don't want to ride our version of Space Mountain anymore. We just did it for Halloween where they took the lights out. But aside from that, I don't want to ride it because Space Mountain at Disneyland is better and is one of the top 4 rides that's just better at Disneyland. Fourth and finally, Greg, and should we say definitely not least, Indiana Jones might be the best ride in Disneyland. Boom, I just said it. Little bit of a hot take. That's right, Greg. You'll be finding out today just what makes this ride superior to Dinosaur in every single way. It's the same track, it's the same ride vehicle, but somehow it shows that with clever Imagineering and not just relying on black lights and plants and like half-painted dinosaurs, you can actually produce a blockbuster ride. D23, I'm looking at you. Just do it. Get rid of Dinoland USA. Give us the announcement that you're retheming this place and you're turning it over to Indiana Jones at Animal Kingdom. Do it already. We deserve it, Greg. There are, ladies and gentlemen, are my 4 rides that are better at Disneyland.
We want to thank Marc Valentine for his time here at the Chip and Company Podcast Network. Join me next week where I will be on the hunt for a new podcast host. I can't debate you. I'm not allowed to say anything.
Well,
I'm going to, yeah.
That's a wise decision because you know what? Right now, you are living these 4 things and you will find out. Maybe not Tower of Terror because you're going to chicken out on me, but the other ones you're definitely going to find out. We'll see.
Maybe.
Let's have this discussion next week.
Let's have this discussion next week, my friend. As always, that was the Rushmore of the Week by Mr. Marc Valentine. Onwards and upwards. I can't debate you. I don't even have anything to say to you. I'm so
This week's hot take by Greg F. Marc.
Join me for my hot take where I debate Marc on everything you said tonight. Oh, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, because he doesn't have the words, let me move this segment in this show along. Every single week, we provide the spicy hot take of the week. It's where we editorialize and we sound off on a topic. Again, this isn't a debate. No one ever discusses it. One of us is blowing hot on something. And Greg, it's your turn this week to talk about something that has your dander up and is really grinding your gears. So without any further ado, Greg, time to get spicy.
Marc, thank you for the floor and the time to speak today and the anger to go into this hot take. Folks, I would like to give you my hot take of the week. Although it's not as spicy as it has been around here lately, still, this is my own hot take in my words. Today, my friends, I would like to speak to you on Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party versus Halloween Horror Nights.
I feel
and
attacked.
How people are very divided on these 2 great events that happen here in the Central Florida Theme Park District. You get one of 2 camps. Love of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and hate for HHN, or you get the HHN fans who call Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween fans wusses. I would like to say my hot take this week is simple, folks. There is room for both. After attending both within a week from each other, I can say both are very good and both offer a variety for your Halloween dollars out there. This brings me to my real hot take, Marc. Stop thinking that these 2 events are the same thing.
Preach, brother.
They are
preach.
Absolutely different and should be treated as separately ticketed events completely. They have nothing to do with each other. And the only similarity is they happen during the same season. That would be like comparing growing a tomato to making chocolate. Both are edible, but not the same damn thing.
I've never been really fond of chocolate, Greg.
Thank you, sir. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is meant for families and is very Disney. It is enjoyable and a treat for those who like fall, or as I like to say, the autumn crowd. These are the people that want to go and see the leaves change color in Vermont, while the Halloween Horror Nights fans are trying to burn down the forest. They should not be in competition, or they should be thought of as the same thing. I really enjoyed Halloween Horror Nights 31 last Friday, Mark. And I have to say, I had a brilliant time. The whole of Universal Studios is very overlaid. It's so very well overlaid. Universal Studios felt like a different park when you walk in there. The scare zones are amazing. The houses are made for frights and chills and jump scares. Which brings me, Mark, to my third hot take within my hot take. Halloween Horror Nights could be the most overrated event in Orlando. While I do love it and think highly of it, people who love it freaking love it. And they make sure that you know that it is the best event in all of Orlando of all time, that the space shuttle launched and Mickey came down, and Halloween Horror Nights is the best thing of all time. There is no other event. There is one event that happens in Florida, and it is only Halloween Horror Nights. They make sure you know it. This doesn't mean it's not good, my friend. It just means it's overhyped. Now, with that being said, I am now on the overhyped train. I will shout this from the rooftops that I love Halloween Horror Nights. But I also love Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party because they are two totally different events and should not be treated or thought of in any way, shape, or form as the same thing. They're not in competition with each other. They both can be enjoyed for what they are. And I think the people around here, especially in the Central Florida, Walt Disney World, Universal area, needs to calm down a little bit and not think that HHN, Triple H. What am I going, wrestling on this one? I'm all of a sudden doing a promo for the WWE. Listen, end of the day, great events, both of them. I really do enjoy both events. Doesn't mean I'm going to say Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween is not as good as, because they have nothing to do with each other.
Can I just ask you a question?
Both wonderful. Yes, sir.
All right. I'm not going to debate you. I just need to know.
No debate.
You have $110. Okay. Let's pretend that they're equally priced, which is not the case. But you have $110. You can go to one event. Which event are you going to?
How far apart are the events?
It's just you get one per season. You can only go to one. That's it. Which one are you going to?
That is a great question. I'm
not debating you. I need.
No. I think that's a great question to ask of somebody.
I have my answer now. Like, I can tell you my answer, but I want yours.
I think I would go to Mickey's Not So Scary because of the nostalgia of being at the parks.
I understand that, but I'm going to pick Halloween Horror Nights because every year it refreshes different scare zones, different houses. Mm-hmm. So every year, annually, it's a new event. Mm-hmm. Mickey's is like comfort. It's like chicken soup for the soul, and it's comfort food. You know, by and large, what you're going to get. Like Max this year being different, people were like, oh my gosh, this is something new. But by and large, it pretty much is the same event year in and year out. But it's a great event. We love it. But it's not, you're right, it's not even the same thing. You can't compare it. But welcome to the Halloween Horror Nights train, man.
Thank you so much. I had a look. Did you and I not have an amazing time in Mickey's Not So Scary?
I did. I'm with you. I'm with you.
I can honestly say I had just the same amount of fun, and it was overwhelming. And and I will talk about Halloween Horror Nights for 1 second. There was a scare zone that was one of the most tragically beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. The colors, how they did it was stunning. And I'm so happy to be a fan of Halloween Horror Nights, just as that's my problem here is you can't compare the two. They're just totally different. They're totally
different events.
And that's what people need to realize. You can't go, oh, you can choose one or the other. No, it's not an and or. They're just that different.
Well, it's not an or, it's an and situation. You don't have to. Like when the kids are into, like, put it this way, I'm not going to bring my 10-year-old to Halloween Horror Nights. I want her to sleep. It's totally different. But yeah. I love to get the crap scared out of me, and you will get the crap scared out of you. They're two totally different events. They're two totally different vibes, but they really, like, I'm also like feeling a little personally attacked because I am that guy who screams from the rooftops that I do think that Halloween Horror Nights is probably the best event because you said it, the metamorphosis that the park undergoes, it doesn't look like studios when they're done. It looks
it's brilliant.
It
amazing. Is so well done.
It looks like a total
I am not
park.
taking, please don't think I'm taking anything away from the event itself, because that event is spectacular and phenomenal. I had one of the best nights I've ever had in my life at a park going to that.
And if you've never done it, Greg wrote an amazing article for chipandco.com. Go and check out his article, and he did a review on Halloween Horror Nights. It was an amazing article. Really lengthy discussion on what each house brought. He had his initial sort of ranking of what he expected from the house. And then like after the fact, once having gone through them, he did all 10 houses in the media event. But the other thing that we have is if you're going this year, or if you even want to get a taste of it, but you don't want to, and you're like, how scary are we talking? Over on our YouTube, we have a highlight reel, a sizzle reel of the houses. We haven't given you everything, but it's a little bit of a walkthrough that shows some of those showpieces of the various houses. Greg did a really nice job of capturing that as well. And we have some really nice Halloween Horror Nights coverage over at chipandco.com. Great, spicy hot take, man. I liked it.
Thank you, sir. Well, Mark, that'll do it for another episode of & Company. Stay with us all weekend on the Chip & Company social media channels as we bring to you D23 Expo, which Mark and I and Chip, everybody around here is really excited about. Make sure you're subscribed to the best new podcast in the Disney community here. Mark, grab your quarters. We're heading to Flynn's Arcade and Anaheim to see the Tron 40th anniversary celebration, my friend. End of line.
End of line. Hey guys, Diz Life Mark here, and I want to tell you all about the official travel partner here at Chip & Company. Let our good friend Sarah at Destination to Travel help you plan your next Disney vacation. Sarah specializes in planning dream vacations for your family. She's an authorized Disney vacation planner, and she can help with every step of your magical vacation. The best thing is that her services are 100% free. Want to travel beyond Disney? Sarah has you covered there too. Want to find out more? Fill out a trip request form over at the website at Chip & Co. or email her directly at sarahsolberg@d2travel.com. What are you waiting for? Start planning that dream vacation today. Email her at sarahsolberg@d2travel.com.